Hello, everyone. My name is Kirk Bachman, and welcome back to The Ultimate Dish. Today, we're excited, so excited to welcome Alexis Stoudemire, entrepreneur, philanthropist, lifestyle and travel creator, and recent Escoffier graduate. Alexis is a woman of many talents who has built an impressive career at the intersection of lifestyle, entertainment, culinary arts, and advocacy. She's the founder of CASALEX, where she empowers, we'll talk about that more in a moment. At CASALEX, she empowers others through mentorship and public speaking. I love that. With a thriving social media presence of nearly 80,000 followers or more, she's become a trusted voice for lifestyle content, sharing everything from travel adventures to culinary creations with authenticity and style. Most recently, Alexis graduated with high honors from Auguste Escoffier School of Culinary Arts, completing our online culinary arts diploma program while managing a busy career in entertainment, content creation, and entrepreneurship. She's also known to many as a cast member of the Netflix reality series Wags to Riches, which follows successful women navigating their careers, families, and personal ambitions. A devoted mother of four, including 3 teenagers, Alexis is passionate about preparing healthy dishes and inspiring women to explore diverse cultures and cuisine. And there she is. And I'm exhausted, Alexis, already, just from the intro. Wow, wow, wow. How are you?
I'm well, actually. I'm staying dry underneath my leaves here, as you can see, in sunny Miami. Well, not today, but I am doing well. I'm thriving.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to have to share. So that looks like an amazing spot, beautiful view. And you've got a little treehouse sort of canopy above you, right?
Yes, we are in my lounge. This is my space of creativity and creation, my office, my as you can see, I have a plethora of wine options you can have.
Yes, I've seen that. I see many bottles missing too, by the way.
Yes, we do a lot of time over here and celebrate.
Gotta have some fun, right? You gotta have some fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that where you did a lot of your work when you were a student?
I did, besides the kitchen, obviously.
Besides the kitchen, yeah.
But the balance was definitely up here. I do my podcasting up here. I get creative. I can see out. I can be inspired while I'm up here. So I just love it. I like to be above and be able to be out of touch if I need to. So I can just unplug or plug in and
unplug. I'm going to steal that from you. I'm going to start using that. Hey, everybody, I need to unplug.
Yes,
my wife won't like that. She won't like that. She'll be like, plug in. But listen, we have so much to talk about. I've got chills. I'm super, super excited. I first wanted to say congratulations. It's not easy to be a student this day and age. It's not easy to go to school, but it's even more difficult to go to school and accomplish graduation like you did while running an empire, while being a mom to a bunch of kids, a bunch of teens. I know what that's like. It's so congratulations. It takes my breath away. I'm super, super happy. And I was so happy that you made the trip to Denver at the end of last year at the beautiful Buell Auditorium in downtown Denver and walked across that stage. How'd that feel? How did that feel?
It's an exhilarating feeling of accomplishment when you are just even, first of all, getting acknowledgement that you have passed your classes, that you have made it. That was one. That was the start of it. Then you have the option of walking across the stage. So you're like, wait a minute, this is real. Now, not only do I get to be handed my credentials, but now I get to be amongst so many other people that were struggling with me, that were figuring this out together. And then I saw some familiar faces of some of my classmates. So it was a beautiful experience of just accomplishment and really just showing not just myself, but my family that I had set out on a goal, that I accomplished it and I did it. And so it just felt so good for my daughters to see me as a woman, as
Oh,
my
yes.
sons to see me, just to be like, that's my mother. She graduated, she did the work. We got to taste test, we got to see her sweat. And then to be, it's just like, it was just insane. And just to be amongst my peers, to understand we were struggling and sacrificing together and you're not alone. So that was another major thing too. And to be honest with you, what we're doing is major. Like, to be able to tap in and to show up, and with everything going on outside of our classes and trying to figure out how to shop on time, how to do our homework assignments on time, we are accountable. So the fact that we had to be accountable, the fact that we had to show up and we had to show what we've been learning, it was just amazing to me. So I was just ecstatic to go and be there. And I'm encouraging everyone to go to graduation. If you can go, just go and be loved on, be appreciated. And I thank you as well, because I remember you vividly, like you're part of this journey too. I got my handshake, I got, and you just feel so proud, just to see other people, to know the struggle. Like we all made it. We have something in common.
What's interesting, and thank you for the energy there and the comments. You mentioned family. So many students come from all walks of life. And for many people, it's the first time that they've accomplished an academic achievement in front of their families.
Correct.
And Alexis, I'll tell you, I've probably presided over, hundreds over the last 30 years, and every one is exciting. It's one of the first things I tell new employees. Graduation is on this date. When you come to graduation, everything we do will make sense. It will all make sense. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day. The only thing that I haven't done yet, my dear friend Sylvia sings the national anthem.
Yes.
I haven't sang myself. One of these days, I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna grab the microphone and I'm gonna serenade all of you. I just can't believe it. And you mentioned friends. You've got friends out there that are also engaged with Escoffier, right? We talked about that a little bit earlier.
It's just beautiful, the fact that you can inspire. And as you know, I'm creative content. And so what you see is what you get. I hone on authenticity, and you can't fake food. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You can't fake doing the work.
My family thinks I'm crazy, but I love social media, and I love it for exactly what you're talking about, the authentic stories that people are sharing in real time, in genuine ways.
Right.
You were in Denver a little bit before, a little bit after, and you kind of showed the sights, and you really enjoyed your time and shared it with us. But all of the dishes, wow. I wasn't going to ask this. My wife's like, don't ask that. It's, you're putting her on the spot. But what's on the menu today? What are you thinking about for food today?
Well, this is Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. I love it. Of course it is. Of course it is. Tell me about your tacos.
Okay, so it could be tacos, it could be taquitos, it could be Spanish rice, it could be it could be whatever. Today is almost like kind of clearing out the refrigerator for me. And so it's like whatever I come up with. So because I do have tortillas and I do have chicken that's already done, I will take the taquitos. I'm thinking like more like taquitos today. So that would be,
I like it.
So that would be the emphasis.
I can catch the 2:00 flight, so that might work. We've got to get you. What you just shared right there, and we haven't even gotten to the questions yet, but it's too exciting. That's Alexis. That's critical thinking. That's one of the things, one of the skills that we hope and we strive for students to achieve. To be able to look in the fridge, to look in the pantry, and understand what you can create. Right? Absolutely. You don't have to look at a recipe. You know exactly what you're going to do. So that was a good answer. That was a good answer.
Yes.
If I could ask, if I could be so
Sure.
bold, I'm on your social media a lot, and I've seen this little guy dressed up in a baseball uniform, and I've seen the
Yeah.
two of you in front of the stadium. We're a baseball family. I played baseball a little bit in college. My son is obsessed with it. Do we have a baseball? Do we have a future MLB player in your house?
Yes, we do. Class
We
of
do.
2031. We're going to put that out there.
Yes, 2031. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down.
2031. Yes, I have a little slugger. My youngest is Elijah. And
Elijah, yeah.
baseball is our family. One of my good girlfriend's husband just actually, his jersey, well, not jersey, but he is in the Hall of Fame. He got inducted. So every little boy's dream is to go to Cooperstown.
Yes,
And
it is. I've
so
seen that on your
I,
site too. Yes, yes,
so I
yeah,
got the
yeah.
pleasure and the blessing of going to go support the Sabathia family on their journey. And for the
Oh, I
fact
just
that
got chills. I got chills. You
yes,
slipped that in, but I got chills. I know where you are. I know where you are. Wow.
yes. So
Congratulations.
it's just amazing. Yes.
What
So the
position
fact
does Elijah like?
he is center field.
That's what I
So
played. That's what
he's
I
center
played.
field all over the
I love
place.
it. I love it. My
Yes.
son's first base and left field, but you got to play them all, right? Center
You
field is
have to
just
play them
great
all.
because you're right in the middle. Does he pitch at all? Does he like to pitch?
He loves to pitch, but they need him in the center field. So
He's
if
got
there's
some
the
wheels,
lineup,
huh?
yeah, he's the fastest on the team, and
I
I
love
would
it.
probably say in the league.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Really great. And yeah,
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna,
No stress. No pressure. No pressure on Elijah. I love it.
but
I
it's
love it.
true.
So I have a favor to ask. This is a
Sure,
complete surprise. So a
sure.
little bit later today,
Okay.
I have a very important faculty meeting. So I'll have over 100 of the Escoffier online instructors that you have met many of. And I can't
Wow.
wait to tell them that we chatted today and that you graduated. High honors, by the way. High honors.
Yes.
Um, what would you, I have two questions for you. Number one,
Sure.
what would you like me to tell the whole group about your experience? Anything. I'll tell them
Okay.
anything you tell
Okay.
me.
Well, the main thing I would tell them is thank you. Thank you for your time. That would be number one. And that without them, there would be none of our creativity and our inspiration would not be fueled. And it's very special what teachers and faculty members do, especially even the administrators. Every single person that I have came across, whether it was an email, a phone call, or even interacting online, the timely fashion of getting back to us and communicating with us was superb. Like I just really was very impressed with the fact that I could talk to an instructor any time of the day at any time of the night and they would get back to you. So I just wanted to tell them thank you for their time of sharing, being an instructor first of all, bringing us into their places of where they cook, taking the time from their families and pouring into us and teaching us, because what they have taught us, and it's even harder, I feel like too, the fact that they are online and we can log in whenever. So the fact that they're teaching and not knowing what the feedback is in real time can be, as a teacher could be tough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now that the student is now a teacher too. We'll talk about that as well. I get it. I get it now. It's hard to share your passion with others, especially from a screen, but I felt every single instructor's passion to the point where it inspired me to show up, to be on time for class, to listen to what they have to say, and to listen to their techniques, their shortcuts, their nuances, just all of that. And I use that to this day. So I just want to let them know thank you for their time, because without them, they're sparking so much joy into every plate that each of us graduates give to another person. They're part of this chain of command, of inspiration, and of creativity. And we have to feed people forever. So they're very important. So that's what I will let them know. Paraphrase it for me. But
and I will let them know today. I will let them know today. That's so beautiful.
yes,
My
thank
second
you.
part of that question, and is there um, a magical moment? Was there one magical moment that really stood out where it all kind of made sense for you? Like, I am where I'm supposed to be.
I would feel like the most magical moment for me was um was when I started balancing the two classes.
Oh, that's such a good feedback. Oh my God.
I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
I haven't subtracted like this and added and. I was like, so it brought that back out of me, which was awesome, which is fine. But I would say that would be the one thing. Second would be looking forward to what I was getting ready to learn again, because I love the fact that I was in the culinary arts and operations program, because not only did I learn how to cook, essentially, I learned how to be front of house, back of house, sanitary. I learned how the restaurant, just operations in general work, from the farmers to the distributors to really, down to the seed and the origin of so many things. And so that was my aha moment, because I have been blessed to live in these amazing culinary countries and cities. I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. So that was African American barbecue.
Barbecue. Yeah.
Barbecue, we smoked everything, and meats and, briskets and all these things and those flavors. And then barbecuing and all these things and grilling. And then to turn around and live in New York, which we all know is a culinary,
Mecca. Yeah.
global
Yeah.
mecca in its own way. And I was blessed to be able to have chefs and go to these amazing restaurants and these amazing events that I just had from amazing chefs, and interacted with them as well. And living in Israel, I got to live in the Holy Land. So I had to learn how to cook from scratch. I had to learn how to cook fresh. I had to learn how to cook what was from the land, what they grew naturally, because they don't believe in any preservatives in Israel. And so I had to learn how to cook kosher. I had to learn how to cook all these different ways. And so to come to culinary school and to see everything that your journey of life come together and be taught and know that, okay, that was familiar when I had that food from, barbecue from Kansas City, because we were taught that. We were now, if I didn't know that, somebody else now, my classmate, knows that there's barbecue and there's cattle in the Midwest, because we took the class. And
Yeah.
or the spices that might be in India, because we took the world cuisine class, and that's different curry than it is in the Caribbean curry. So just those little things. So my magical moment was really finding out my full circle moment of, this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is familiar, this is home, this is comfortable, this is familiar. And I was just excited for it. So
I
I
love
look
it.
forward to
Such
class every
they're
day.
they're going to
Yeah.
be so excited to hear that. Staying with that theme of making it to the finish line,
Hmm.
is there a way, you have a way with words, the way you present your authentic content online. What did you feel, just you, not regardless of how it made your family feel, but what was that moment when you knew that's it, the culmination? I finished it. I've walked across. I've received my credentials, my medal, my toque. I did it. What feelings came over you?
I'm actually still processing it, to be honest with you, Chef, because it's not easy. It was not
No, it's
easy.
not. It's
People,
not.
everyone's like, I can cook, we can cook. No, you can't chef. It's the difference. Chefing is different than cooking.
It
No
is. It
no
is.
disrespect to anybody, but respectfully, I appreciate every meal more now. Every single meal, whether it's given to me by somebody, if it's home cooked from somebody, or if it's from a restaurant, wherever. And so I just took the time to receive um to receive my accomplishment of I am part of this elite group of people who get it. They want to inspire, they want to feed souls, and they want to nourish your bodies. And I'm now part of that elite club. And so I'm still processing the fact that I know what everyone is sacrificing now. I understand it. And to even now take it up another level to where you're teaching, that is just like mind blowing too, because you're now teaching what you've learned and teaching somebody else who's going to now use skills that are life skills. Like you guys are teaching life skills. You're not teaching just like, again, the math is horrible, but it's necessary. I learned in pastry, if your numbers are off, you don't have anything rising. You have no bread. You have no cake.
It's a science. Yeah.
It's science. And it's one thing without the other. It's temperature control. It's also the energy you put into your food is going to be now consumed by whoever is devouring it. So I'm still processing the fact that 1, I sought out to do a goal. 2, I accomplished it. 3, I accomplished it with so many, in a high honor way. And we keep saying high honors, guys. This is a big deal. Get the high honors. You want the cord. I'm sorry. You want the cord. When you're walking across that stage, you want it, But I accomplished that. And then finally, I feel like now I'm like, the sky is the limit, because not only do you get to learn that you can now manage, that you can organize yourself, that you can communicate what you taste and what you feel and, how food makes you feel, but you get to really understand how important food is to every single person. And so I feel like, and you can't live without food. No one can. And so we're super important. So that's the process of me processing it still, is the fact that literally people's lives are in my hands.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Literally. I love how honest you are. And I mean, that was not a cliche answer in any way, shape, or form. That was a beautiful, thought out, passionate, emotional answer, and people will appreciate that. I'm curious, Alexis, and this journey that you took, what inspired you to, with everything that all the success you'd already had in your life, in your career, and a beautiful family, when did you decide, wow, this is the time, this is it, and I'm going to pursue this, and I'm going to do this? What was that moment like? Did someone else encourage you? That you kind of come up with this on your own? How'd that happen?
Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. Oh. I was like, you're working full time. You have children.
You're on television.
It's podcasting, all these opportunities I have to be in. I have to do appearances. I have to show up. I have to travel. I don't know what I was thinking, but at the same time, I was like, but I can do this. It's always started with just love of food. My family background is over celebrations, we would have food. Over sadness and mourning, we would have food. And really, it was a good family memory for me, a core memory for me. And again, having the blessing of living in these beautiful cities and having the opportunity to have chefs, to hire, to fire, to understand. My ex-husband's a world-class athlete, so understanding diet and nutrition, as well as digestion and rest and recovery. And having a foot in wine, the wine business, as well as just culinary in general, I've had personal chefs. So I understood the different levels of culinary arts in general, whether it's living down the street. I lived in meatpacking, not really pun intended, but it's crazy because that was known to like ship in and ship out a lot of the meat that was in New York, as well as I'm down the street from Food Network. So I would literally be walking the streets of New York running into some of our favorite chefs that we see on TV. And so respectfully, I was in the radius, but wasn't appreciative even more of the sacrifices that came behind it. And so from that inspiration, as well as my personal chef, and this is to make this long story short, but
you can go as long as you'd like. I'm loving every minute.
my first chef, Chef Max, may he rest in peace. He's an angel. He had passed away 40 years young of a heart attack. And he's the one that I learned so much from because he was in my house. He was my personal chef, but I was all up in his business. Okay. I was like, show me this, show me that. And I got to see, I was all up in there because I have to learn, I read the grocery list and he had to understand how to cook for not just me, but for children and for a world-class athlete. And so that just blew my mind to see how he could adjust day to day. And, it was a blessing to have a personal chef, but the fact that it's like going to the same restaurant every day, right? So the fact that he could be creative and come up with something different from day to day, week to week, and just really captivated our palates, that was inspiring to me. So when he passed, it was heartbreaking for me because we're the same age, we're young, and he was also into the culinary arts and philanthropy too. He was helping youth in Detroit. And so I just was like, that spirit came up on me. And then I started seeing these, advertisements. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, God, what are you saying to me? Is this my sign? And then I started looking into it. And I'll never forget my first initial call when I was just curious. They were like, oh, you can start next week. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just called for some information. I was like, this is too easy. So when I said too easy, meaning too easy to get started, everyone was overly helpful. They were like, not only that, you're going to get the text messages, you're going to get the nudges, you're going to get the whole thing of like, okay, this is for you. And I was like, all right, can I do this? Then I thought about time management and can I make this happen? But then I was like, if anyone can do it, it's me. Let me just try it. And what's the worst that can happen? The worst that could happen became the best thing that could happen, that I graduated, that I finished, and I had high honors. And here we are today.
I love it. I love it. Can you tie, I'm going to say the same thing to you, Alexis, that I say to a lot of thought leaders, and that is our viewers and even me sometimes, we have these great conversations that are real time, but I never want to take for granted the work that we don't see in this hour together, right? There's so much work.
It's so much work.
Your personal life, raising your kids, running your business. Oh, by the way, you mentioned your ex-husband. I promised someone that I work with who is a New Yorker and an insane, obsessed Knicks fan. So you just got to give me a shout out for Lu Yen. He'll love that. Shout out from the Stoudemire family to Lu Yen.
Absolutely.
He couldn't believe we were talking today. Could not believe it.
Yes,
Could not
that's
believe
me.
it. But I want to be respectful, but yeah,
Absolutely,
it's pretty.
no worries.
It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Thank you so much.
So tell me, if you can, what you can about your children, your family. How, because it's important to others who are listening. When you say, yes, you can start next week, and you can start tomorrow, you can start the week after. We're here for you. But how do you think about your children who, no matter what, come first, right? So what's your advice to those who just can't even imagine, 3 kids at home, 4 kids at home, 1 kid at home, a husband, dogs, of how do you manage it? Is it discipline? Is it focus? Is it celebration, like you mentioned?
Yes, it's really all of the above. It is discipline. It is focus. It's managing. And the beautiful blessing about being in the culinary arts, learning with class, you do have to learn how to time manage. I had to not only shop for my children and for me, but I had to shop for school. So it was time management of like making sure I had all my ingredients, and then the time management of setting my schedule. I have now gotten exceptionally accurate with my schedule, because that's one thing also about being a chef. You have to be organized. It is organized chaos, and it's organized chaos in the kitchen, and when you're working with other people, and when people need you and they are dependent on you to feed them and nourish them. And so I had to learn that about myself. It actually made me a better mother, to be honest with you, because I learned how not to waste food.
I love that. Love
That was a
that.
big deal because I was over shopping or anticipating things. I now know I shop maybe for maybe 2 to 3 days, and then I go back and get what I need. So I'm shopping for what I need, not what I want. And
Yes. Yeah.
so it made me more conscious of that, which in hindsight, you save more money because you're not wasting food, you're not wasting these things. So the time management and saving money, but I also was saving time. I had more time with my children and myself because I became more efficient. Once you start getting those techniques down and the cutting, I mean, obviously the first couple weeks of cutting, you're just like, what am I doing? I'm tired of carrots. I'm tired of these potatoes can go out the door. I don't want to see another potato. But it's like that's the basics, you know what I mean? The knife skills. And so I was like, I learned patience. And now even the externship, and to be honest with you, I was so scared of that externship because here I am. I only have my children and friends and family to be like, yeah, not this dish, Lex, or yes, this dish, or whatever. Now y'all put us out there, and I had never been in that situation before. That
I
was
was so
new to
proud
me.
of I didn't even
That was
know.
scary, but I
I
did it.
followed you. Thank you for the comments, first of all,
Yes.
about your family.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
mean,
keep going with them too. I got to keep going with them too. But go ahead.
mise en place came together for you, right? Mise en place,
Yes.
the whole concept of everything in its place.
Everything in this place. Yeah.
How did your children enjoy? Were they critical of your cooking and your
So
knife cuts?
let me be real with you. So, like each of them, the four of them, Array is my oldest. She's a college student right now. And so
Okay.
she's learning, like, she's my sourdough queen right now. So, she's more into like the project type of thing. So, it's the sourdough for her. She only has fresh bread. So, she's learned that. She's learned how um, to meal prep as well, and to not overspend. So she was watching me do that. So I feel like that kind of rubbed up on her because now she has to pretty much feed herself. And you just can't call Uber Eats and have them drop off some food. Like, she can't afford it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
she's learning
yeah,
how to budget. My
yeah.
second oldest, Amari Jr., we call him Deuce. He's away at
I
school
love
too.
that. I love
It's
that.
just never
Yeah.
a dull moment.
No.
He's he's away too. So it's right now when he comes home, he's just like, Mom, you know what I like. So I know what he likes. And so he comes to the restaurant of CASALEX, and it's just like, cook this for me. And that's his culinary journey with me. Asada is my third, number three. She's away in boarding school as well. And so she knows about healthy eating. She knows about, because she's an athlete. So she knows about healthy eating. She knows about also recovery and the nutrition that is necessary. They're teaching them that in school where she goes, because it's a
Oh, that's
sports-driven
great.
boarding
That's
school.
great.
So she
Yeah.
knows what
Yeah.
fuels her body, and she knows what she needs and what makes her sluggish. She knows about the fried food. She knows about these things. So um the feedback I get from her is how the food feels to her, how it nourishes her, and this, like, it's nostalgic for her. She loves a Taco Tuesday. So like the fact that she's like, Mom, it's just so good. She adds that element. And then the youngest, he is my most critical, the baseball player. Okay, Elijah. When I say the most critical, is because he has me now. It's one-on-one. So I'm learning to go from feeding 6 people to now 2 people, which is also tough. to be
Yeah.
honest with
Yeah.
you.
Of course it is. Over shopping. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
just all of that.
Yeah.
And so he is my most critical yet crucial um critique, because he wants to try anything. He will try everything. Like the other day, I did some kimchi pickled cucumbers and whatever, this flavor, and he wanted to try it. And so he's the
Yeah.
one that will, his friends will be like, from TikToks and all these things, are like, can
Of
your mom
course.
cook this? And he'll ask me, like, I got Dubai chocolate the other day. I was like, look, I'm not into chocolatiering. I'm not pastries, but I know how to do a mold. I know how to double boil. I know how to melt some
See,
chocolate.
see.
So,
But your son is he knows what you're capable of, right?
correct.
So he's going to be
Correct.
critical. He's going to call you out
Yes,
if
he will.
because he's got you on a pedestal. He
Yes.
knows what you can do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That
He gets
he's an
plated
athlete too.
dishes for dinner. Like, what is going on here? I'm like, who's this child? You have a personal chef. This is crazy.
Just
You
so
get
you
a
know, and
you get a personal chef.
and we follow each other on social. I'm stealing this. I don't want to. This was such a beautiful comment from your daughter.
Aw.
How the food makes her feel. We don't think about that enough.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
How the food makes you feel, right? Food for
Yes.
many people stops the pain in their stomach, right? And they move on.
Mhm.
But how does food make you feel after the fact, right?
Yes.
After she runs or
Yes.
plays or whatever, right? I absolutely
Absolutely.
love that. Speaking of the externship at
Whew.
Smith and Webster, and
Mm.
speaking of how food makes you feel,
Yes.
I'm a big Dwayne Wade fan. We're both from Chicago.
Okay,
Followed the
Chi-Town,
Heat for a
Midwest.
long time, and um, so it's a great clip. You in the restaurant, they had
Yes.
just eaten,
Mhm.
and I think he was with Gabrielle Union and
His wife, beautiful.
his
Yeah.
wife, yeah, his beautiful wife, and he said something to the effect that your food was like a hug, and I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, it's not just because it was Dwayne Wade and he's a
No,
friend
no,
and all
no, no,
that,
no.
but anyone who, if your son says to you, Mom,
Mhm.
this meal makes me feel like you're hugging me. Oh my gosh, that's powerful. That's really powerful.
It truly is. And it goes back to food making you feel a certain kind of way. It's nostalgic.
Yeah, yeah.
It's memorable. You remember who you shared that perfect dish with, or the time you were traveling with someone and you shared this unique ramen if you were happen to go to Tokyo. And so it's just like you get, and I can go on and on and on about how food made me feel when I first tasted it for the first time. It's this feeling of like going in a cave and you find a discovery. And then when you find this discovery of this flavor, or how these flavors come together and what it looks like, you really get to use all of your senses. And so I was just able to like really appreciate the fact that people were seeing me, that people saw my journey, and they showed up and supported me. And so you get to see the sacrifice and the fruits of your labor literally come out when your friends that don't get to have your food, or come go to your local restaurant every day, but they get to see now how you've collaborated with strangers that are now my people. Like, I love, my all my sous chefs, everyone, because I was doing expo. They threw me into expo.
Oh my goodness.
I
Oh
don't
my
know what, I don't
goodness.
know, but I was like, but the blessing was I was able to learn every station, but they were like, you're
Station,
better
yeah.
here. Go back here. And I don't know if that's because I'm a mother and I command, so much here at my home and business, and just being this personality or whatever, and my brand and all these things. But like, I was there, and the fact that people showed up for me and supported me, it was like, we are here part of this journey with you, Alexis. And not only do we want to celebrate this journey with you, but we want to eat. And now we have this memory connected through food with you. And so now we're going to always talk about that one dish, or that one time when they came to visit me at Smith and Webster. Shout out to them for really taking the time to to groom me and to show me what it was like to be in a restaurant. But the fact that my friend showed up and posted about it, and it was just, that's the beautiful thing about where I sit in my position, of the fact that I do have a beautiful Rolodex of people that show up for me, but then the fact that I have other people that are inspired, that are also just
Sure.
there,
Yeah.
just curious. And that's what food is curiosity all the time.
You know what I love, coming back to, people feeling a certain way when they have your food, whether it's in your home or in the restaurant, but they also, I get the sense that they feel your vibe. You want them to enjoy it. It's not just, you didn't just go through the process of putting that dish and throwing out and moving to the next one. You literally want them to experience it and feel good and give you feedback, right? Because you care. And
Yes.
that's the beautiful circle, right? And
Yes.
that's not easy. Not everyone does that.
Mhm.
So that's gorgeous. Let's I'm gonna digress from school just for a minute to talk about your brand, and then we'll try to bring it all back together. I mean, just that's a whole podcast, right? 80,000
Yeah,
or more, people following you, looking for what you're up to and being inspired
absolutely.
by you. And I don't know, in today's world, right, where everybody's going a million miles an hour, that kind of an engaged audience is really hard earned. I mean,
Hmm.
that's not easy. Um,
Yes.
how did you, again, whatever secrets you can share, how did you start building your platform? What was the intention from the beginning, and did it grow organically, or was it very on plan, very strategic? Just whatever you can share.
Beyond, it was very much organic. And
Okay.
the reason why it was organic was I literally was just using a platform, and I was an Instagram user from when it first started, to where it was just a picture, because that's all I knew. I was a picture person. I was just like, this is what I see, this is what I ate, this is what I do. And that's where it started. And obviously, guilty by association, being married to someone with a face and a name, was very helpful. And as well as, being around these network of people that are also quote unquote famous or have a name and have a following organically as well. It was just really my perspective and my point of view. So the fact that it started off with just a few family members following to now 80,000 people, hi everyone, that's there. I just feel like it's grown organically just because of people want authenticity. And I'm unapologetic about who I am and my struggles and my thoughts. And I know I'm not the first person to ever be divorced in the world. I know I'm not the last. I'm not the first person to graduate culinary school. I won't be the last. And I'm a mother, I'm a woman, and I'm just human. So it's just like, at the end of the day, we want human interaction, we want human exchange. And, everyone can gravitate to who they can identify with or can relate to. And I just know that whoever follows me, I want them to be inspired or relate to me in some kind of way. So it's just been organic. And obviously, with the influx of these opportunities of being like on Netflix and on the show Wax the Riches, now everyone is getting to hear my voice and can almost feel me through the screen. And that's what I want. And we can show pictures of food, but it can also be cold. There's some beautiful plates that we can see, but we don't know that it was sweat behind that, and a wipe of a plate, and a curation of a illustration right next to that, and the list of the people that put their hands on that, the flavors, all those things. So I just understand, who it is that I am. And I also struggle. I'm also not perfect. And I just wanted to make sure I was authentic on my struggles and really my triumphs at the same time. And I just found a creative way to show it. And it's on Instagram.
Can you be more humble and genuine? I mean, I just adore you. You
Oh,
said
thank
something
you.
very, very important. Yes, many students start school, many students
Mhm.
or people start businesses, many people graduate, many people are successful.
Yeah.
Um, But I just want to emphasize too that it's really beautiful for you as a person to achieve something. So I view every
Yeah.
graduate in that room as
Same.
individual,
Correct.
and they have a voice, and they know where food comes from,
Mm-hmm.
and they know how that food makes people feel or not
Yeah.
feel, right?
Right.
So I I'm going to be your biggest advocate, even if you're too humble for our audience. So just always know that. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
you mentioned Netflix. You appeared on many podcasts and of course television, Wags to Riches. What is that experience? That again, a whole nother podcast, a whole
Of
nother
course.
adventure. How did um and it's reality. Reality series are reality.
Reality.
It's
Yes.
part of our life, and it's part of your personal brand. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how did that? Can you just tell us a little bit about how that opportunity came along? Was it terrifying? Was it exciting? Was it all of the above?
I always feel everything going back to my spirituality of all things happen for a reason and timing and being at the right place at the right time. That was just about I was coming off of it was coming out of COVID, and everyone's just trying to get their footing and getting back into the mundane of what life was, quote unquote, before COVID, but I could never go back to that. And so it was like, no, we're not going backwards, we're looking forward. And so it just came to me as far as the fact that it's exciting to be able to have the opportunity and just choice. It's choice, you know what I mean? And so, of course, everything new is terrifying, but at the same time, I know how to balance it and be excited about it and look forward to it because I'm like, this is my path. And this is what is supposed to happen for me. And it does boost your confidence, especially when you're just like, I did that. I had this goal, which I didn't even know was a dream. And now when you start something, you have to finish it. And now I'm not done because now I want to keep going. There's so much food to eat and figure out and find
And
out. And
prepare. Yes,
it's just
yes,
like
yes.
nonstop. And so it's never ending, which is a dope thing about culinary in general. Food is forever.
It is, and so it so seemingly is your energy. But to that point, Alexis,
Yeah.
how do you? Again, this is specifically for students to hear and graduates,
Hmm.
alumni.
Hmm.
How do
Hmm.
you maintain that creativity? How do you stay away from burning out?
Well, it's balance. To me, I think of like the recycle sign. My first, like the
Yeah.
first priority to me is family. So that's my number one job first. If my family's not right, I'm not right. So family first. Then second would be to fuel you know everything, to fuel safety, which is for the family, to fuel education for my family and myself, and my mental would be my work. So that would be next. And meaning, because I have to fund passions, I have to fund travel, I have to fund to get food, I have to fund safety again, and all these things. And then lastly would be my passions, would be like, so all those things connected are very much recyclical, as far as I can't have one without the other. I have to have my passions, which is my rest, which is my creative side, which is like being in the kitchen and coming up with recipes and palettes, and or taking the trip and traveling and being inspired by others that are not in my radius. I'm forced to figure things out. I'm forced to find a footing. And so, that just really inspires me all the time, because I realize from travel, especially from travel, to learn people's journeys and learn their stories, because each of us are different. And so the fact that, the commonality of all of that is we have tradition. Every single household has tradition or their favorites or things like that. And everyone has a sense of home. And so it's just like, I am always going back to home, which is back to that, my family, which is the core, and then going back into my work, which is what I love to do and what I like to do, and then going into my passions or things that I want to do in all that. So it just all goes hand to hand, and it's constant, constant, constant. And one of those is out of whack. One can't function without the other. It's just not gonna work.
No. Well said. Well said. Now that you've had, so with all that said, and the role that I'm increasingly seeing food play in your content, and now that you've had formal training, are
Yes.
you approaching food a little bit differently? Clearly with more confidence, but also a different perspective. Coming back to
Absolutely.
the whole how it makes you feel. It's a big part
Absolutely.
of it now, right? Yeah.
It's huge because it's respect. It's respect from the
Oh,
seed.
great word. Great word. Yeah.
It's respect. I
Yeah.
respect the seed now, okay? When I say that, I mean that with so much like gratitude, because we also learn this too. The seed is very important. So from the seed, you have the growers, you the farmers, then the distributors. And then from the distributors, you have, people who are taking the time to shop and to come up with these creative palettes and for us to eat. It's a respect on all lines of communication, and to now come to a place to where someone is just enjoying your dish for like 15 minutes, or I forget what the average time is to complete a meal, but you're like, from years of the seed coming through the soil. It's just respect for life, the life cycle.
I think you're lucky if you get 15 minutes. I know my
You know what I mean?
teenagers
That's what I'm
are,
saying.
it's like it's 5 minutes and it's gone, right? And it's like, how was
Right.
that? I walked out of the room for 5 minutes, right?
It's
Yeah.
respect. It's at the end of the day, it's respect. It's respect for time. It's respect for creativity. It's respect for heart. And it's respect for intention, because we really have to be intentional. Food is amazing. And we now have learned that it can be dangerous too. We got to be careful.
Yes, of course.
I'm
Yeah.
very sanitized now. Now I used to be like,
Yeah.
kids, you're doing the dish. I used to hate doing the dishes. But now I have my bucket. I don't
I
even
was just going to say, do you have your red bucket underneath the
My
counter?
routine is crazy right now. I'm just like, I have my shopping. I have a list. I shop. I plan, and then I clean. I'm a cleaning machine, and that's cleaning. I break down every time I cook. I can't believe it. I'm just like
I
my
love
mise
it.
en place, everything. So
Mission
it's in you.
accomplished.
It stays in you. Like you can't. It just, and it goes to daily life too. It just applies.
I love it. And other people see you doing that. So,
They
you're
do. They do.
you pass it along.
And I
I'd
want
love
to show,
to.
I want to show that to the world. Like, I know
Of
I went to
course.
culinary school, but you guys got to cook at home.
Yeah.
I can only show you some, but you can do this. You can clean out the refrigerator. You can make a fried rice, with the leftovers and things like that.
I wanna spend in the time we have left. I want to just kind of address the intersection of food, come back to food, lifestyle, entrepreneurship, and of course, advocacy. I'm fascinated, as I'm sure you are, by people who find ways to blend their passions. You're not following a traditional culinary path,
No, I'm not.
but you're using your education, your knowledge, in your own unique way to run your business and the advocacy work that you do. Can you share a little bit about CASALEX and your work around philanthropy? And if you could address how food and culinary education tie into mentorship, and even stronger word, empowerment
That's right.
around the work that you do.
Thank you for that. So I want to start it off by saying CASALEX is basically my entity. It's my brand. And it started off with my mentor, actually, who attended graduation. She came from LA to meet us in Denver. So she
No
was a
way.
witness.
That's
She's
incredible.
my mentor. Yeah. So she got to see this whole experience too, which blew her mind. And she's a doctorate, you know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
seen many graduations, but she was like, Lex, this is, this is cool. And so I was listening to her speak one time, and she was just saying how she's a founder, and she was like, so I want to go around the room. And we were in a room with all kinds of executives and these boss women. And she was like, so I want to raise of hands, how many of you are founders? And only a few of them raised their hands, meaning they founded their company. They were there representing their company. And she was like, well, I'm going to ask this one more time after I give you a few prompts. She was like, so how many of you guys have a family? Everyone raised their hand. How many of you guys have a home or a place you call home? Everyone raised their hand. How many of you guys like to travel or go somewhere like you have to plan it? Everyone raised their hand. So she said, now, are you the CEO of that household? Do you run these things? Do you organize these children? The husband, do you keep him in line? And she was like, you're a founder of your own entity and your own persona. And I was like, okay, that makes me feel a lot better. And then obviously, because I am a face, now with Neil's name, image, and likeness, people are curious for my stories. So I do get paid to travel and to speak and to curate vibes and to consult, and then as well as just my brand in general. So it's collaborations, it's Alexis, it's CASALEX, and CASA meaning home, because I am quote unquote a homemaker, if that's what you want to call it. I hate that word, but I call it domestic engineer. I call it all kinds of things. Okay. Like I'm the CEO of CASALEX. All right. I run all this. And
you're the CEO of you, right?
Yeah. If I'm not right, none of this will work. So I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. I'm a founder, and I am a founder. And so now I collab. And so how that tied into my passion of things is I was getting paid, so it had to go somewhere. Let's start with that. And then second of all, the fact that I like to travel, and it's a part of me to give back, whatever that is. If it's just me showing up, I give back. If it's just me monetarily, I can write a check, but I don't like to do that. That is not my thing. Time is more valuable to me. So it's me getting my hands literally dirty. I want to be in it. So I partnered, and really became a friendship that's now a partnership. And with my good friend Andy Stein, who is the founder of the Orphan Starfish Foundation. Shout out to them and all of the beautiful children I interact with. So I became an advocate for victims of abuse and children that have been basically, they are orphans. They will stay in the system until they basically are 18, and then they have to figure things out. So, I don't want to get emotional because
it's okay. I'm right there with you. Yeah,
it definitely pulls at me. And I have now been to 9 countries with Andy. We put the Wi-Fi, we have scholarships, and we do the computers. We put the computers in these centers that are in these orphanages that are already established, or these educational centers around the world. We're over 75 plus now. And so using, travel / culinary arts / advocacy and philanthropy work, now I am teaching these children in different countries how to make food. And it just came organically. And as I say, very kosher. But I've been to now, out of the 9 countries I went with Andy to see these kids and just play with them, hang out with them, and vibe with them. Now I'm being introduced as Chef Alexis Stoudemire, and she is here to teach you all how to make pasta, for example. So here I am in an orphanage, and I like to call them centers. I don't want to put that name on there as orphanage. But these homes and these centers, that some of them have gardens, they have a kitchen, and so many kids. There's one child in every place that I've visited now that's into culinary, that wants to be a chef. Or their young mothers, or they remember moments with a family member that they had food with. And so the fact that I'm able to give them a piece of home, a piece of education, and something as simple as teaching them how to make pasta with very little ingredients, I call it the 1, 2, 3, 4 method. And so they can remember the recipe, as well as the fact that they'll be able to teach their children one day, that they remember something, that they retain something. But the fact that someone is teaching them how to cook food, that's something they'll never forget. And the flavors, like the last country I was in Guatemala. And so my love of travel, I like to eat, and then I like to explore, I like to learn, but then now I'm teaching. And so with a whole bunch of boys. It was about 15 of them. And, I'm teaching them how to cook pasta and they had fresh hand cut pasta that we got basil from their garden, and tomatoes, the most beautiful tomatoes that I've ever seen, and garlic, just very simple, a simple meal. But when I say they loved eating what they cooked, and to the point where I get messages now from the facility advisors that are just like, Lex, they just made it again. They want pasta, and it's just flour, egg, and oil, and the little
and
salt.
they'll make it for the rest of their lives.
They're making
right?
it forever. And so now the student is now the teacher. And it's my passions are all I get to just teach. I get to be a student. I get to taste, but I also get to learn. And I'm learning about these children, and they're teaching me so much. So it's fun. And so that's what I've done now. So now I'm blessed that the Orphan Starfish Foundation has now wanted to collaborate with Alexis Stoudemire, which is CASALEX. And now I will be teaching kids in wherever these facilities that we have for computers. If they have a kitchen, I will be there.
I love it. I'm going to connect you. We had an amazing human being graduate a couple of years ago. Her name is Bekai, and she's in She has a small. She finished Escoffier, and then she opened up a very small cooking school in Lagos, Nigeria. And her goal is to teach young women how to cook. And it's nonprofit.
Please.
I'm going to send you the link to what she's doing. It's spectacular.
Please.
By the way, my oldest daughter, my first baby, is Alexandra. I call her Alex.
Aww.
You are Alexis, but I hear Lex, so I'm going to start calling you Lex because I love that.
I love Lex.
that.
Thank you.
Love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Listen, this has been unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Aww,
I can't let you go before Noel's going to get mad, but I'm going to sneak in a couple more questions.
Sorry, Noel.
What's the biggest lesson? What's the biggest lesson learned?
Wow. I would say the biggest lesson learned is to follow your heart.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew.
You did.
And being true. Be true to yourself,
be true to
right?
yourself.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a beautiful thing to sit in the confidence of self-awareness and to really sit there and have that confidence of, I can do this. And I was a little intimidated before being in the kitchen. Not anymore. And I can go into behind in the restaurant now, and I say, hey, I'm a chef too. I just want to know what y'all got going on back here. I just want to say hi. I appreciate you. I respect you. And that's it. You know what I mean? Like, so
I just love it.
Different.
Do you watch The Bear at all?
Of course.
So when you told me that you got to Expo season 4, I mean, it's not easy, right? No. When the cousin had to go to the restaurant and learn how to Expo after he clean the forks and spoons and all that. Yeah.
Just a computer, and just the fact that you are responsible for every dish that comes out.
Everything that's going on. Timing.
What it looks like, timing, allergies.
Yes.
Like temperature, sanitary, everything. I was just like, it was a lot of pressure, but I was like, I do this. I'm raising 4 kids. What are we doing? I'm just like, I could do this.
Such good experience. So speaking of dishes, the name of the show is The Ultimate Dish. Alexis Lex, we cannot let you go until you tell us what the ultimate dish is in your world.
Ooh, that's tough. Okay.
It could be a memory too, or it could be what you're feeding Elijah tonight.
Oh, the ultimate dish. That is so hard. Okay. I would say this. it's not the ultimate dish for me. It's the ultimate dishes. And I'm saying dishes because I was blessed to be able to go to Asia for 33 days in 7 countries.
Wow.
I took cooking lessons, I explored, and I ate my way around. So I started in Thailand, ventured off to Vietnam, Philippines, and ended in Tokyo. Oh, okay, just a moment for Tokyo, right?
Chills.
Anyway,
Yeah.
with that being said, the ultimate experience for me is really eating my way through tradition. It was eating my way through culture and understanding how people are adapting to what they have and really understanding what they can work with. And we are spoiled here in America. Okay. Let's just say that. So the ultimate dish would be for me it's hard for me to say it, but it would be just really enjoying a good meal of something that was made by somebody. And that's everything, it's made by somebody. I appreciate it. I don't want to do fast food. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to have a good meal by someone who prepared it for me and they gave me intention and love. So I apologize.
It's a perfect answer. It's a great answer.
I apologize.
And I had chills. The thing too, when you're traveling around Asia, for example, there are parts of the world where it's all about technique, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect technique.
Yes.
Thai food is about explosive flavors, right?
Oof.
And familiar flavors, right? Vietnamese food is yet a little bit different. And to be able to experience that and be able to articulate that to like you have it's really, really, really special. Really special.
Yes.
Can I just tell you,
Sure.
Alexis, I love your spirit.
Oh, thank you for that.
I love your kindness. I love your voice. I want to say congratulations for all your success. Thank you for choosing Escoffier and giving back. I want to thank you for the amazing work. I almost started crying. The work that you're doing around the world to help others understand where food comes from and how to take care of themselves. And I feel like I'm a better person for having chatted with you today. I truly mean that. And I cannot appreciate you.
Thank you for that, Chef.
And I'm going to keep an eye out on you.
Please.
Let's think down the road. I'd love to have you as a guest chef for students if you ever want to do that.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
No pressure. I'll be right there. I'll be there right next to you. I'll be right next to you. And
I would love that.
Keep us posted on all the good work. I want to know how baseball's going for Elijah and and be healthy and be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your questions and your curiosity and your time as well. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening to the Ultimate Dish Podcast, brought to you by Auguste Escoffier School of Culinary Arts. Visit escoffier.edu/podcast to find any materials mentioned during the podcast, including notes, links, and other resources. And if you can, please leave us a rating on Apple or Spotify and subscribe to support our show. This helps us reach more aspiring individuals ready to take the next step toward their dream careers. Thanks for listening.